What did you say when Biden called you and said he wasn't running? Well, I immediately thought of him first. No, you didn't. You know, I mean, fracking. Dana Bash had her dead to rights. It's like, you said this. I have the quote. I'm reading it to you. You said there should be a ban on fracking. Why can't they just go, yeah, you know what? I got it wrong. I was talking to the wrong people. You know, she's had this ridiculously high turnover.
Bill Maher just went scorched earth on CNN, and the timing couldn't be worse for Kamala Harris. He called out the network for shamelessly fawning over her while endlessly dunking on Trump. Ripping apart their blatant bias, Maher didn't just criticize, he shredded CNN, blaming its spin-heavy coverage for Harris's spectacular crash. This wasn't some mild jab. It was one of his most explosive critiques in years. The left won't like it, but Maher made his point loud and clear. Buckle up, this takedown stings.
CNN is the place where both sides can watch. And
I'm talking about the people on CNN. And what I know what the conservative side of America thinks, and I don't blame them. They were just gushing about how great a speech it was. And I think she did fine. I didn't think it was as good as they were making it out to.
If you remember, CNN practically fainted every time Kamala Harris managed a semi-coherent line. A bland "we must do better" was instantly transformed into a groundbreaking policy masterstroke, dissected from every angle as if she had just solved world hunger. They paraded experts and talking heads, selling Kamala as the second coming of political brilliance. Spoiler, she wasn't. And that's where Bill Maher made his audacious move, calling CNN out for their shameless cheerleading. He stripped away the polish, labeling it desperate, dishonest, and downright cringe. CNN wasn't informing the public. They were running PR. Maher, with trademark bite, tore their facade apart.
It does look like tokenism. It's kind of like the same as The View.
I don't think that you can say that CNN is anything but fair. Everyone who was speaking last night, it's not like they were all Democrats. I mean, we had Dana Bash, Jake Tapper, Abby Phillip.
They come across
giving
that way.
Analysis.
They come across that way. In a moment like that, it was like 5-1. It always looks like 5-1.
Caitlin Collins in her best nothing to see here tone. TRIED, defending CNN by insisting they cover Republican conventions and occasionally invite GOP guests onto their shows. Cute. But Maher wasn't buying it. Sure, he admitted they'd bring conservatives on, but it's never a fair fight.
Always.
Panels are always stacked 5-1, with the token Republican sitting there like cannon fodder. Then Maher dropped the knockout punch. He compared CNN's setup to The View. Ouch. CNN, self-proclaimed serious news outlet, running panels that look more like a daytime talk show circus, where one lone conservative gets mocked, outnumbered, and steamrolled by a liberal mob.
Conservatives do not trust CNN because it is so staunchly anti-Trump. He's not wrong, because they'll put on people like Adam Kinzinger or Anna Navarro, George Conway, and call them Republicans, or pretend that's being balanced by putting them on by saying, oh, see, these conservatives don't even like Trump. Only Scott Jennings over there can be called a conservative. And Maher is right. It's almost always 5-1 on shows they portray as news programs.
Plenty of people don't trust CNN, and it's not hard to see why. Their version of balance is pure tokenism, trotting out so-called Republicans who can't string together a strong argument or barely count as conservatives at all. These voices aren't there to challenge anyone. They're props, punching bags for the liberal panel to flex against. That kind of hypocrisy drives Bill Maher up the wall and plenty of viewers too. People aren't dumb. They can tell when a network stacks the deck. And that's why so many conservatives and even independents change the channel. CNN isn't offering real debate. It's staging theater.
Do you have the time? Your answer is not, I do. If you, do you have the time?
Right.
Yes, it's 4 o'clock.
Well,
you have to understand that words don't always mean what they mean.
And when Tim Walz said, like, the American people, I talk like they do. No, you don't.
No.
No, you don't. You're a huge liar, like all politicians are. I don't care, by the way. I've always said this about politics. They're all going to lie. They're politics. It's what they lie about. I don't give a what you did during the Iraq War. You were in the Guard. So I don't understand why they just can't. You're just insulting my intelligence.
Bill Maher wasn't pulling any punches. He went after both Kamala Harris and Tim Walz for the shameless lies they peddled during their cushy softball interviews. Walz, with his perfectly rehearsed politician's grin, has been caught exaggerating, or outright lying about his role in certain political and even military events, all in a desperate attempt to sell himself as some kind of seasoned warrior statesman. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris has her own parade of tall tales. She boldly claimed she'd been to the border when she hadn't set foot anywhere near it. To make matters worse, her team spun another flimsy excuse, insisting she wasn't on Joe Rogan's podcast because Rogan supposedly wouldn't allow her. Maher wasn't buying any of it. He cut straight through the smoke and mirrors, calling out the dishonesty. To him, this isn't politics as usual, it's deception disguised as credibility. And the media's softball treatment only makes it worse.
What did you say when Biden called you and said he wasn't running? Well, I immediately thought of him first. No, you didn't. You know, I mean, fracking. Dana Bash had her dead to rights. It's like, you said this. I have the quote. I'm reading it to you. You said there should be a ban on fracking. Why can't they just go, yeah, you know what? I got it wrong. I was talking to the wrong people. You know, she's had this ridiculously high turnover. Like 42 of 47 people as vice president are gone. Just blame it on them. You know why these are gone? Gave me the wrong information on fracking.
That's classic Kamala Harris dodge the question, shift the blame, and pray no one notices. It's practically her political signature move. Take fracking, for example. She flat out lied about her past positions, conveniently rewriting history. The moment it became politically inconvenient, then came her infamous word salad moment. A performance worthy of an award for cramming the most empty phrases into a single answer. When asked what she could do better than Joe Biden, Harris didn't present a bold vision or a clear policy stance. Instead, she delivered one of the most incoherent rambles ever televised, a jumble of half-thoughts, stitched together to sound profound but ultimately meaning nothing. Maher couldn't resist highlighting it because it perfectly sums up her style: say a lot, mean very little, and rely on the media to spin it as brilliance. The problem? More people are starting to see the emptiness behind the act.
What the bug up there is about IVF. I mean, I certainly understand abortion. You know, there's a baby growing in the womb. I get it. It's going to be a human. Doesn't bother me. But yes, it is murder. Again, doesn't bother me that it is.
You're not supposed to mess with that. That's what many people think. You're supposed to let.
Oh, I see.
Great man upstairs.
Oh,
yeah, it goes back to that It goes back to that stem cell debate that George Bush had.
Yes.
Remember? It goes like the Terry Shive. It's just like life, laugh. We support laugh.
Bill Maher is flat out wrong on this one, and it's not even close. He openly supports ending the lives of innocent babies, children punished not for their own actions, but for the recklessness of their parents. That moral contradiction is exactly why Maher will never fully cross over to the conservative side. The moment he does, his hypocrisy is exposed for all to see. On one hand, he never misses an opportunity to torch the Catholic Church for its failures in protecting children. And fair enough, they deserve criticism. But with the other hand, he shrugs off the destruction of unborn lives as if those kids don't matter. That's not just inconsistent, it's grotesque. Maher wants to posture as a brave truth-teller, but he's blind to the most glaring truth of all. You cannot claim to stand for justice while excusing innocent lives lost to adult mistakes.
What explains Donald Trump's appeal to young men? I saw today that the gender gap, I think, is the widest. I mean, it's very predictable. I mean, the women are much more for Kamala, and the men are much more for Trump, generally.
But it's not predictable if you look at past elections where voters under 30, generally men and women, went for Democrats. This is remarkable. I think to explain it...
Wait, you're talking about under 30?
Yeah, the under 30
What's going
gender
on
gap is very different than past elections.
Kamala Harris is rapidly losing ground with young men, the very demographic that helped propel Donald Trump in 2020. And the reason isn't complicated. For years, Democrats have pushed narratives that gradually emasculated men,
I'll leave you later.
leaving many feeling sidelined, diminished, or outright irrelevant. Instead of course-correcting, Harris doubled down on the same tired formula. When it came time to pick a running mate, she had an opportunity to inspire younger voters by elevating a fresh, younger figure. Instead, she chose an older, safe, option that did nothing to rebuild trust with disillusioned young men. Meanwhile, Trump took the opposite approach. He selected a younger running mate, sending a bold message that he actually believes in the energy, strength, and future of young men. The contrast couldn't be sharper, and it's a key reason. Harris is hemorrhaging support from a group Democrats can't afford to lose.
2020, young men and young women voted for Joe Biden at roughly the same rate. Over the last 4 years, and now with Kamala Harris, young women are voting for Kamala Harris at that same level, if not more. Kamala Harris has barely moved the needle with young men. They have gone more toward Trump. There's a lot of reasons for that. I think Trump has exploited culture war stuff. He appears on hyper-masculine podcasts, and he just seems like a fun bro who's not going to ban your zins, you know?
These people just don't get it. They mock and sneer at podcasts that celebrate healthy masculinity as if strong men are some kind of cultural menace. But here's the truth they can't seem to grasp. Strong men build strong families, strong communities, and ultimately strong societies. Weak men, on the other hand, create chaos and dependency, and that's exactly what the left seems intent on encouraging. But America has already spoken. In 2016, and again in 2020, millions rallied behind Donald Trump, a leader who unapologetically embodied strength, resilience, and defiance against the feminization of our institutions and culture. That support wasn't just political, it was cultural. It was a revolt against being told masculinity is toxic. People wanted leadership rooted in toughness, conviction, and unapologetic confidence, and whether the elites like it or not. That demand for strong leadership isn't going away anytime soon.
Could actually be, this is a real issue for Kamala Harris, though. Like, this could be fatal for her campaign. So if Democrats need to win 60% of the youth vote to win the White House. Hillary came up short, Obama did it, Biden did it. Kamala Harris is right now at like 55% of the youth vote. If she doesn't get to 60, she could lose the election, and it's because young men, Gen Z men, are breaking to Trump.
Kamala Harris is staring down a looming political disaster. If she doesn't confront the growing reasons why young men are abandoning her campaign, this isn't some small hiccup, it's a ticking time bomb waiting to blow up her chances. Men, once a key Democratic voting bloc, are now skeptical, frustrated, and drifting further from her message. Why? Because for years, the Democratic Party has pushed an agenda that demeans men, mocks masculinity, and tries to feminize nearly every institution in sight. If Harris wants even a fighting chance, the first step is obvious. She must purge the woke virus infecting her platform. That means rejecting the destructive narrative that strength, toughness, and traditional masculinity are problems to be solved. Until she does, young men will continue to view her as part of a movement, intent on stripping them of purpose. And when Election Day arrives, they'll make their disapproval crystal clear at the ballot box. At the end of the day, Harris and the Democrats face a brutal reality. Their war on masculinity is backfiring. Young men feel alienated, token debates fool no one, and hypocrisy runs deep. Bill Maher's critiques only expose the cracks already spreading. Unless Harris ditches the woke agenda and learns to respect strength, she's finished. On Election Day, young men won't be cheering her, they'll be voting her out. And that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this.